Okay, welcome back. And we are going to work on item maintenance part 2. And now I'm going to show you how to create modifiers, packages, and things of that nature. Okay, so from our previous lessons, you remember we did coffee here as a sized item. When we went to size pricing setup, we put regular and decaf as $1.50. So the size item question will come up first. But now let's talk about making some modifiers for that coffee, like perhaps what kind of milk, do they want sugar or sweetener, things of that nature. So let's create some of those modifiers and work on that right now. So you can see we need to create a couple of groups here because we don't have any groups for our coffee mod. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go over here, and if you remember from our previous lessons, we are going to go to group. And remember, all the modifiers are in the letter Z's. So you can see that my very last group here is ZAC. So from the previous naming that we are going to do, we're going to hit add ZAD, and that is going to be milk mod. So, because we want to ask some questions about what kind of milk do they want, right? So there's the milk mod, and we're also going to want, how about something like sugar, okay? Whoops, so ZAE, sugar mod, okay? Just like that. And in fact, basically what I'd like to do, so we got a milk mod, we got a sugar mod, okay? And I'm going to do another one here, ZAF, and this is going to be called a coffee mod. And we're going to take it a step further and really make it cool. All right. So once we've created our groups, we get out of here. Okay. And we're going to go back to our item maintenance, scroll all the way down. You see there's our last modifiers. That's the idea behind naming things in such a way that it's easy for us to go back and find out where they are. So I'm going to click on the milk mod. Okay, and I'm going to hit new item, hit done. Notice it's remembering size. We don't want that, so we want to make it a modifier. Okay, and the first modifier we're going to do is how about 2%? Okay, now by the way, modifiers can have a price. So if let's say a Coke modifier is free, a Diet Coke modifier is free, but a Fanta Orange is an extra 25 cents, we can easily put 25 cents in here, okay? But the 2% is going to be free of charge. We're going to hit save. By the way, modifiers do not need a prep area to print. Why? Because modifiers follow the items in which they're ordered. So if my coffee is going to the bar, my modifier milk, 2%, will follow wherever the coffee is going. Okay, so I've got 2% over here. Let's do fat-free. Oops. Fat-free. Let's do cream. And how about some almond milk? And that almond milk costs an extra 25 cents. Okay, and we hit save. So we've got our milk mod. And because I am still in the modifiers, all I do before I click on the sugar mod is just go to any one of these, click on here. It's going to remember that it's a modifier. It doesn't print anywhere. And this is where I'm going to do. I'm going to do sweetener. And how about some sugar? How about some honey? Just like that. And then the last thing here is you're going to wonder, what's this coffee mod? Coffee mod is going to be our first question, and that's going to be, is it black? Okay. Or do we want to put milk or cream? Save. Perfect. Okay, so now that we've got that done, now it's time to start linking things. Okay, so let's go to our coffee. We hit edit. The first question it's going to ask us is the size, right? And it's going to ask us, is it a regular or decaf? Then you're going to go here to modifiers. Used forced modifiers. And what's the first thing that we want to know? Which group do we want to call up? Well, the coffee mod. There it is. So the first question is, I want to see all the items that are in the coffee mod. What's min and what's max? Well, min quantity is things like a temperature mod. Okay? A temperature mod on a steak, right? We want to know whether it's rare, medium rare, well done, that kind of stuff, right? Can you have, if I'm asking for a temperature on a steak, do you have to answer? Yes, you do. So the min is 1. That means we are expecting a minimum of a response. The max quantity is how many responses can they give us? Can they have a rare well done? No, of course not. So in the case of a temperature mod on a steak, the min quantity is 1 because we need to have an answer. And the max quantity is 1 because they can only give us one answer. In the coffee mod, if you remember what it was either black, milk, or cream. Okay? So they have to give us at least one, and they can only choose one. Right? So the coffee mod, right, is going to have a minimum of 1 because we need to know it's either black with milk or with cream. And they cannot have a black with cream or a black with milk. Right? So the answer is 1 and 1. We're going to hit save. We've done it. Okay, now that's really all we need in the coffee, because we're going to use the rest of this to be able to link the rest. So the coffee is going to simply go here and choose the coffee mod. From the coffee mod, all of these answers based on these answers here. So if it's milk, okay, we need to know what kind of milk, right? So the link is in here now, not in the coffee. So we go to milk, we hit edit, we go to modifier settings, and by the way, you can modify modifiers. Okay? So the same thing, used force modifiers. Now, if you remember, I could, if I had just a milk mod and a cream mod, I could just choose everything from milk mod here, right? Or everything from cream mod. But I didn't do that. Right? And I did that for a reason. I wanted to show you if I want to choose only certain parts of the milk mod. See, if I just did this, it's going to ask every item. It's going to list every item that's in that milk mod. And there's some creams in there too. There's cream. And I don't want to see the cream in here. So what I did was, if you go all the way to the very top, you'll see it says here, multi-item. And you click on that. And we're going to find our milk mod. And you can see I just want the 2%, I want the almond, and I want the fat-free. Of course, we spelled fat-free wrong, but that's okay. And hit done. So you see, I'm not choosing everything in here. And by the way, if you make a mistake, you just delete. Just like that. Okay? We want the almond milk, and we want the fat-free. And hit done. What are the choices? Do they have to make a choice? Yes, they do. And they can only make one choice. So we go like that. Min 1, max 1. Hit save. And now we go to our cream. We hit edit. We hit modifier settings. Used force modifiers. Same thing, multi-item. We're going to go to the milk mod and only choose the cream. Hit done. Now, look what happens here, right? I'm going to show you. We can get out of here and let's pull up that coffee. Let's pretend we're ordering that coffee. Okay, so I'm going to type in coffee. And look at that. The first question it's asking us, right? Is it a regular or is it a decaf, right? Because that's the sized item. So we're going to choose regular. And now it's asking us, is it cream, is it milk, or is it black? Okay? Well, if I choose black, look what happens. Nothing. It just goes that's the end of it, right? It doesn't go through the rest of the sequence. If I go back here now and I type in coffee again, regular, and now I choose milk, you see it's bringing up the 2%, the almond milk, and the fat-free. So let's choose an almond milk, and you can see regular coffee, $1.50. Milk is the modifier. You can see the lines, the squiggly marks here. That indicates that this is a modifier. Almond milk, same thing. It's a modifier, and we can see there's a 25% upcharge here. Okay? But what about the sugar? Oh boy, we forgot about the sugar. We want to know about the sugar and the honey and all that stuff. So what we do is we just simply go back up here, go back to File Update, Item Maintenance, and let's go to the milk, the coffee mod, right? So black, ordinarily it would be the end of the question, except we want to add the sugar. So we're going to go to black and we're going to say used force modifiers. I want everything in the sugar group to show up. Min is what? Well, it's not 1, it's not 2, it's going to be 0, because if they don't want sugar, they don't have to have sugar. Can they have sugar and honey? Of course they can. So guess what? We're going to leave this as 0 and 0. And by the way, you don't actually have to put anything in here at all. If you just hit save, it'll automatically enter the zeros for you. Okay? So the black is set. All we got to do now is go to the cream, hit edit, modifier. You see, we've already got that multi-item, which is just choosing the cream. We're going to go in here now. We want all of the sugar. We don't have to touch anything else here. Just hit save. And go back to our milk, edit, modifier. Same thing again. You see it remembers that we were on sugar. Hit save. Done. And now, if we test it out, let's take a look. First question is regular or decaf. Let's choose decaf. Okay, we'll choose milk. We'll do fat-free. And look at that. You see? It brings up the sweetener, the honey, and the sugar. And we'll say sweetener and honey. By the way, if you make a mistake, you just hit the red and it's gone. Just like that. If you don't want anything here, just hit done. And now you've got a very well organized set of questions for your waiters on the floor, right? No way they are going to make any mistake here, right? So cream, and we'll do sweetener. And that's exactly how it's going to look on the chit at the bar or at your beverage station. Regular coffee with cream and sweetener. Okay? And that takes care of items and modifiers, part 2.